Hi Taurus, welcome to your love reading for April 2020. Let's see what is going on with you. You have the Four of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Taurus for the month of April. The Hermit. Love reading for the sign of Taurus for April. Queen of Wands. Death. Love reading for the sign of Taurus for April. The Hierophant. King of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Taurus for April. King of Cups. Two of Swords. And Ace of Swords. Okay, so let's take a look to see what you have going on here. I mean, you definitely have strong fire sign energy. You have the King and the Queen of Wands lined up together. So that's interesting. This would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. This can also be you, Taurus, if you have a moon or rising and a fire sign. So you also have, I mean, you have a lot of things going on here. My goodness, you've got the King and the Queen of Wands, but you also have the King of Cups over here, which would be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. I mean, I feel like the sign of Taurus, I'm just kind of taking a look around the spread here. I mean, I definitely feel there's something that is making you unhappy because the very first card that I pulled for you is the Four of Cups. This is someone who is highly unhappy, someone who is highly depressed. This could be that maybe you're kind of heartbroken over a fire sign. Again, there was strong fire sign energy in your reading. With the Four of Cups, this is depression. This is feeling kind of empty, feeling like, like something is missing in your life. I feel like the sign of Taurus, like you have a lot of thinking to do. You have the Hermit, which can represent the sign of Virgo. But I feel like if you're feeling unhappy in the month of April, you have a lot of soul searching to do as far as why are you unhappy? Or if you're already coupled, you're in a relationship, what is it about this relationship that is making you unhappy? Because the Hermit doesn't mean that you have to see the truth. What is it that's making you unhappy? Who is it that's making you unhappy? Again, strong fire sign energy, and all this leads up to the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is saying that there's a need for you to see the truth. The Ace of Swords represents truth and clarity. I feel like there's a need to have clarity about a person, about a relationship, about your love life. This is a need to look at things from a different perspective. There's a need to change your mind. We also have the Hierophant right in the center of the reading. This can represent the sign of Taurus. But the Hierophant represents kindred spirits, soulmates, soul family, feeling a spiritual pull towards someone, feeling like this is the person that I belong with. And it can be that for the sign of Taurus, maybe you've convinced yourself that maybe that you belong with this fire sign. Because, I mean, that's kind of what I see in this reading. It could be with a fire sign. It could also be with a water sign, where you just kind of, no matter what's going on in the relationship or in the marriage, you're like, no, this is who I belong with. And you're kind of set in that kind of mind frame. Perhaps if the situation is not kind of reflected in reality, there's a need to change that perspective. The Ace of Swords is the need to look at things from a different perspective, because otherwise you're going to stay stuck here. You've got the Two of Swords. This means that there is something you're refusing to do. You're refusing to change a situation. You're refusing to make a decision. And there's a need to really have clarity on this. There's a need for you to look at this from a different perspective, because there can be a dramatic change for you here. You have Death, which can represent the sign of Scorpio. But death is a huge transformation in your love life. I just feel for the sign of Taurus that you're feeling a very strong sense of unhappiness. There's a sense of depression with the Four of Cups. You're unhappy. You feel like something's missing. And I feel because you have the Hierophant right in the center of the reading, a card of kindred spirits and soulmates, you might really be convinced that you belong with this fire sign, or you belong with this water sign. For some of you, it could be that you do. There's a general reading, but you're being told here there's a need to really change the way that you're looking at things. Let me get a few more. Let's see what this is about. What other messages are there for the sign of Taurus for April 2020? Ten of Rings, which is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Wands. Six of Cups. Yeah, I mean, I feel the sign of Taurus, like there's too much reflection on the past, because you've got the Six of Cups here. There's maybe too much reminiscing about the past, perhaps a relationship, because you've got the Ten of Pentacles, which is, they call it the Ten of Rings, but this is the Ten of Pentacles. I see the sign of Taurus kind of looking back towards the past, when really there's really nothing going on here. You've got the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands, I mean, this is very, very kind of tired energy. Perhaps, you keep focusing on the past. That's why you're being told there's a need for a different perspective. You need clarity. Perhaps there's something you need to clear up as far as the past. The Ten of Wands is someone who is tired, exhausted, tired of trying. Perhaps you're tired of trying to reconcile with an ex. Or maybe you're tired of trying to keep a relationship going or a marriage. There is also, if this is not about an ex, the Six of Cups can be that there's just a lot of emotional baggage kind of bringing down a relationship. Again, the Ten of Wands is a heavy burden, something that is strangling a relationship. It can also just be, for some of you, there's too much reflection on the past. Again, perhaps you're really focusing on a fire sign. King and Queen of Wands. Perhaps some of you are focusing on a water sign. This is creating a lot of unhappiness, depression. Again, this is a very draining energy. You're being told it's time to really change your perspective. Okay, let me get a few more for you from the confirmation deck. What are the messages are there for the sign of Taurus for April 2020? Yeah, Five of Wands. With the Five of Wands, you're fighting yourself. This is an internal battle. Six of Pentacles. And the Page of Swords. Yeah, I mean, the Page of Swords is telling you it's time to really see the truth. The Page of Swords is about being completely honest with yourself or with another person. This is about the sign of Taurus getting what you deserve here with the Six of Pentacles. And I feel like you're not getting what you deserve because there is something that you're struggling with, the Five of Wands. You're struggling with yourself. Maybe you don't want to admit the truth with the Page of Swords. There's a sense of, again, unhappiness, depression. Perhaps you're focusing too much on a fire sign. Perhaps you're focusing too much on a water sign. There's definitely stuck energy here. Again, unhappiness. I feel like you're struggling with yourself, but maybe you know it's time to let this person go, but you don't want to. Again, that's only something that you can do. With this energy, of the past, like there's a lot of emotional baggage. For those of you who are still together, it could be that emotional baggage is kind of bringing down your relationship. But again, this is only something that you can decide. It's something that you can change by doing this, by really kind of soul searching for the truth. What is really going on in your relationship? Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the X spread. Okay, Taurus, let's go ahead and see what's going on between you and your ex. Taurus and their ex for the month of April. Page of Swords. So you did have this in the first spread. Taurus and their ex. The World. Taurus and their ex for the month of April. Six of Swords. Taurus and their ex. Four of Swords. Taurus and their ex. Four of Pentacles. Taurus and their ex. Two of Swords, also from the first spread. Taurus and their ex from the month of April. Hermit, also from the first spread. Eight of Swords. Three of Swords. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same story. Look at all the swords in the spread. Page of Swords. Six of Swords. Four of Swords. Two of Swords. Eight of Swords. Three of Swords. My goodness. I feel like for the sign of Taurus, I feel like you're definitely doing a lot of thinking. Even overthinking the situation around your ex. There is still a lot of painful energy here. I feel also, because this is a breakup card, that someone is still very much dwelling on a breakup. Like, why couldn't we make it work? Why aren't we together? Why can't I get this person back? There's definitely stuck energy. You've got the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. So there's stuck energy. I feel like someone is definitely stuck when it comes to moving on. Someone has not moved on. Again, this is general reading. Don't get mad because this is a general reading. It could be that for you. There is a difficult, kind of a different situation here because this is difficult. You've got the Two of Swords, which means that there is a very complicated decision. There's something very complicated going on around your ex. But you also had this card in the first spread. This is the need to be completely honest. I feel like it's just time to just kind of be completely open and honest, as far as what's going on between you and your ex. Because for some of you, it is time to move on. You've got the World. This, it's time for a new chapter in your life. Again, this is a general reading for some of you. Perhaps if it's been just a few days, that you've been broken up, a few weeks, 1 or 2 months. If it's been like 8 months to a year, 2 years, 3 years, it could be that it's time to move on. Both of these cards, especially this one, It's time to move on to a much healthier situation. It's time to move on to something much better. There's a new chapter waiting for you, but it's time to be completely honest. I mean, I see the sign of Taurus here stuck. I mean, the Four of Pentacles is someone who is refusing to change their mind, someone who's refusing to budge, someone who's very stubborn and saying, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not giving up. And that's just going to leave you more stuck here. I feel like, again, this is why you had the Hermit in the first spread. And guess what? It's here again. You have the Four of Swords telling you that you have a lot of thinking to do about the situation with your ex. You have a lot of thinking to do to figure things out. Again, there are so many Swords cards in this spread. I've showed them to you already. I feel like there's a lot of thinking going on, but I feel like you could be thinking about the wrong situation. You got to really focus on maybe why you're holding on, why you're refusing to let go. Again, the Hermit. You have a lot of soul searching to do. Shed some light on what is creating all this painful energy around your ex. What is it about your ex that is creating, the sense of heartache and loss? This situation, I feel like it's just keeping you trapped. You've got the Eight of Swords. Let me get a few more for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Taurus about their ex? Knight of Wands. Page of Pentacles. Yeah. I mean, same story. Different card, same story. This Knight of Wands, this is about persistence, self-confidence, determination. This is a card that says, I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to back down. You're being told you might want to look at this very carefully. I feel this is, again, this reading may not be for everyone, but I mean, I can't lie to you. I pulled the cards live and I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like if you're really kind of dwelling on an ex and like, why aren't we together? Why couldn't we make it work? And kind of saying like, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. Even if it's been, kind of a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're being told, look at this very carefully. What is it that's really going on here? Because I do see you struggling here. This is someone who's highly conflicted. You're doing battle with yourself. You're struggling with yourself. It really is time to see the truth. And again, this is the same message from the first spread. Okay, let me get you a few more from the confirmation deck. The Hierophant. The Page of Pentacles again. Yep. Your spiritual team, which would be the Hierophant. This is perhaps your intuition or, your angels, your spirit guides. They really are trying to guide you out of this difficult situation. The Hierophant can also actually represent your energy. If your ex is also a Taurus, this can represent them. But you got the Page of Pentacles 2 times. So when it comes to your ex, for the sign of Taurus, you are being told, look closer, look deeper. There's something that you're not seeing. Perhaps you're not seeing the reason why you met. I get that a lot in private readings. Why did I even meet this person? The universe is trying to show you, but I feel like you're not looking at that. You're kind of focusing on like, why can't I get this person back? Why won't this person respond to me? Why have they not come back? I see a lot of agonizing here. I feel like the sign of Taurus, like there is a lot of agonizing, again, over this ex. Why won't they come back? I thought they would have answered me by now. I thought they would have cracked by now. This is a lot of agonizing, a lot of worry, a lot of stress. Meanwhile, there's a lot of painful energy here. This is keeping you stuck with the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. And I feel like some of you are kind of refusing to give up, kind of saying like, I'll hang in there. I'm not going to give up. You're being told if you're thinking that way, you might want to look at this very carefully. What is it that's really kind of going on here? I feel like for some of you, maybe it's, it's time to let go, but you don't want to. Just kind of looking at this before I kind of end the video. Yeah, I mean, with the Four of Pentacles, this is someone who is, just refusing, not open to change. And I feel like you have a lot of thinking to do. For some of you, the difficult decision that we see here could be the decision to let this person go. Okay, Taurus, this has been your love reading for April 2020. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.